Всем привет, меня зовут Анита, это мой видео-дневник, где я говорю на английском, чтобы практиковать его и не забывать. And today, you guys, I'm gonna be sitting in my garden, literally. I'm sitting in my garden. I'm gonna show you some of the pieces from our daily life so that you can feel the vibe, so to speak. You might be asking yourself, like, what is she doing there? And I'm gonna tell you, I'm hiding from my family. Also, I got my eyelashes done and I don't feel quite like myself. I see myself in the mirror every day, obviously, but every day I look at myself, I feel like that's not really me. Don't know, can't get used to them. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is just how amazing and how great and how lovely it is to live in a small town. And here I must admit, I changed my mind quite drastically because I was, when I was 16-ish, like 16, 17, about to finish my school, I was obsessed with the idea to move somewhere in a big city like St. Petersburg or Moscow. That was my ultimate dream, to move far, far away from this place, because it felt like life was passing by me because there wasn't much to do in this town. At the time, it changed quite a lot. I'm gonna tell about it in a minute. So I was obsessed with the idea of moving, and so I did. I moved to Moscow to study at a university. And now of course I was coming here to visit my parents. First maybe 2 years of my university life, I would come 4 times a year, like once every 3 months, because I was awfully homesick, just terribly homesick. It's funny because I was really happy to be living far away, but at the same time I was really, really homesick, and I wanted to use every opportunity to come back here and be with my family. That's what I did for the first maybe 2 years. Then I started coming twice a year, sometimes 3 times, but mostly 2 times a year, like in summer and in winter. Now it's way more complicated because you can't really take a plane. You can, but to a different city. Well, just trust me, it's way easier to go here by train, to travel here by train, even though it takes usually around 24 hours to come from Moscow to Krimsk. This is the name of my parents, the town where my parents live, and of my hometown as well. But that's what I prefer, because you just get on the train in Moscow and you get off the train here in Krimsk, and you don't need to do any extra traveling. You don't need to take another train or a bus, go by car for 4 hours. Like, it's much easier. So that's what I do. At the same time, it's more complicated because you just need to spend 2 whole days on the train. And if I come here for 2 weeks, you can just cross out these 2 days, and that's a bit disappointing. But anyway, that's not the point. I love coming here because ever since I moved away, the city or the town, you see, I even want to call it a city because the town started to change. There's one important detail to mention, like why and when these changes started to occur. In 2012, there was a major flood in our town. The streets in the city center were completely destroyed. They looked like a mess. You could see cars stuck in trees, in in fences. So I forgot the word, fence. So it was horrible actually. And after this disaster, they started to rebuild the town, and it started looking much nicer, even though this disaster took away many lives, and it was really hard for everyone who lives here. But it started changing the look of the town. Then every time I came here, I could see some positive changes, which I really liked and appreciated. And this year, when I came here in summer, I got to finally see that there are so many nice places here right now. And I started realizing why. Because you see, this year I went to a water park in my town. It's to tell me, when I lived here in my childhood or during my adolescence, to tell me that there would be a water park in my town, I would say, are you crazy? Are you nuts? Because that was like, you couldn't imagine a thing like this. Now there's a water park. There are a lot of very lovely coffee shops and lots of different cafes, like sweet shops, I don't know, bakeries, what else, places like beauty salons, a nice park, a nice cinema, just Burger King, like KFC. I'm telling you this because this was unimaginable, just trust me, to imagine that in my town we would have a KFC or a McDonald's or Burger King. That's something beyond imagination. But it is the reality now. Also, one upside of living in a small town like this, which I wasn't really thinking about, you can get anywhere in the town, practically anywhere. Let's say by car, it would take you like 10-15 minutes top, like 10 minutes, sometimes less. Or you can, like almost everything is within a walking distance. I can actually walk to the city center. I mean, walk on foot. Imagine doing this in Moscow. No, you can't do this. And therefore, you can do multiple things during the day. You can visit several places. You can see several people. You can run some errands just within one day, just because everything is so near your home and also near each other. Like it's very easy to plan your day when you know you won't gonna be stuck in a traffic jam, or you won't have to travel to one place for an hour. It won't take you a long time to travel from one place to another, you see. And when I'm in Moscow, I can plan just maybe 2 things a day, just because the distance is so much bigger and it's really harder to you spend way more time on the road. I've never thought of this before, and only now did I start actually feeling how much it can simplify your life and make it more enjoyable, and how much free time you can actually spare. And that's something that's been on my mind recently. Like, am I making a mistake by sticking to my decision to live in Moscow not by any means. I know why I do this, but I'm just wondering, is it worth it? not like I want to move back here, but there are so many different towns and cities in Russia which I haven't even been to. Maybe there are nicer places to live in, and I'm just thinking that Moscow is the best city in the world, at least in the country. I love Moscow. It's very comfortable. It's very pretty, beautiful. Like you can find anything you need there and even more. But I don't really use all of these facilities. All of its beauty isn't in front of my eyes on a daily basis. I just stay in my district most of the time, especially now that I have a baby. I feel like I'm glued to my district most of the time. So yeah, and here I can just leave the house, go into my garden and find an apple right on my apple tree. You know what I do here? I just, first thing in the morning, I take my son, we go wash our faces, brush our teeth, and all the usual stuff, do our morning toilet, and then we just go outside. I put him in the swing. No, I make myself a cup of coffee, take it with us, put my son in the swing, and while he's enjoying his time, I'm enjoying my time, drinking the coffee, and I don't have to worry about the way I look. And this is our private territory. I just don't have to be bothered by anyone. I'm just like, I feel so much freedom in this. There's so much freedom in this. It feels nice. Then we go to raspberry bush and find some raspberries to eat. Also, my father is very keen on growing grapes. He has around 40 different species, I don't know, and they all taste different. That's just so amazing to live in a house. Why didn't I appreciate it when I actually lived here? That's the most disappointing thing about all this. But I'm hitting my 30s this year. Maybe that's why I'm thinking all this stuff. Like, maybe I started rethinking my life. So another thing that's interesting about being here is that it gets dark at a normal time. Like now it's 20 to 9 p.m. And in Moscow it's usually still not dark outside because there is too much light in the streets and everywhere in the city. So yeah, and here it's like this. Yeah, well, I'm gonna go inside. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for listening. Let me know what you think, where you live. Do you enjoy living there? What are the pros and cons of living in a city or in a town for you? I'm very curious to know what you think. Bye.